Open up a can of smashed assholes. We saw The Arrival, so you know what that means.
Show with Nick Crow and take a boat speed to hitting cruise control. Jay Lynn, Big Paul, and the beautiful June. Gonna take you from the groove all the way to the room. Rain against the street fight and hope to blow off steam. Just a sucker punch the odd life for Timothy Green. Sharp niggas, birdemic, how we staying alive. They call him the badass and he's on the line. Cranking 88 minutes cause they cool as ice. Cause the bad Jim Varney looking kinda nice. Paul and June getting literal, Jason is getting laid. June is making sure all the monkey shots in the pain. They judge a bunch of movies while they're making the grade. Here's a real question for you. How did this get made?
Hello, people of Earth! And hello, people of Los Angeles! We are live in our LA home on the third night of our tour where we didn't even have to leave town. Now, that's the way you're supposed to do it. Celine Dion style. Couple years from now, we'll be in Vegas. We'll all be there. It'll be a blast. Tonight, we are talking about a movie that I raced out to see in the theater. That's right. When I heard Charlie Sheen and Aliens, I was like, get me a ticket. Ran out, saw The Arrival, all 1 hour and 55 minutes of it, and loved it. All right. IMDb describes The Arrival as Zane, an astronomer, discovers intelligent alien life, but the aliens are keeping a deadly secret and will do anything to stop Zane from learning it. I would say that description really gives you a lot more energy than the movie has. This is a movie whose budget was $25 million. An opening weekend. Yeah, that is surprising. This is back in 1996. So think about $25 million in 1996. That's about like $75 million. And the opening weekend, 4.8. Domestic gross, 14. All right. So, yeah, people didn't connect with it the way that I connected with it back in 1996. But it does have a 66% on the tomato meter from the audience, because the audience gets it. We're going to break down everything that happens in The Arrival. We're going to find out if aliens do exist here tonight with my co-host. Please welcome to the stage, Mr. Jason Mantzoukas.
What's up, jerks? Yes, let's go! Let's go! We have arrived.
We have arrived.
Our arrival is here. It is now.
I don't know if you have a memory of this, and
I don't know this movie at all.
Really?
This movie's a 0 for me. Wow. I watched this and was like, wow.
I was excited. I was like, can't wait to revisit, because I was a fan of the movie that kind of preceded this, which was called Terminal Velocity. Do you remember that?
No. Wait, this is a sequel?
No, David Twohy.
I see. You like the director's other work.
They were like, let's work together again. Terminal Velocity is great.
Did we do it?
No.
Oh, because it's great?
Well, I mean, who knows? I thought this is great, too.
So it's Twohy and Chuck Sheen again?
Yeah.
They're back at it?
There was a time, and maybe it's because I worked at Blockbuster, where I was watching a lot of Charlie Sheen movies and being like, this guy's got the goods.
What I found nuts about this was I not only hadn't seen it, I knew nothing about it.
Okay.
So that there was a Charlie Sheen is a scientist / Indiana Jones / smart person. I was no, I don't know I don't even know what this is.
The fact that you're saying Indiana Jones really,
all of the second act in Mexico, he appears to be doing a Indiana Jones Romancing the Stone riff.
I guess you're right.
June.
Oh, wait. Ladies and gentlemen, June Diane Raphael.
Too much was being said.
Sorry, June. How are you?
I'm okay now. How are you?
June, where do you fall on The Arrival?
So I had never seen it. Similar to Jason, never heard about it. I loved it.
I walked
you really
in on
prepped me because you were like, it's very difficult to watch. Like, start watching it now. You'll have to take breaks. Like, it's hard.
I
hard,
rewound
hard.
a lot. I rewound a lot because I found that I was easily distracted while watching it because it did go slowly for me. So not enough was happening all the time. So I would get distracted and then I could tell something happened. So I actually I watched this movie for over 4 hours.
I think I put in...
I said to Paul, I'm like, I was watching, and then I did get confused about one thing. I'm like, no, how did he find that factory in Mexico? Like, how did he find it? And Paul was like, because he had already finished it. He was like, he was just like, he was like looking through the jungle, and then he saw it. And I was like, no, you didn't watch that part either. Then you also were distracted. And then I went back, and I was like, no, that's...
He goes looking for the radio station. It's burned out. And then it pretty much just cuts to him with some sort of telescope. Isn't that him with the telescope?
Well, I mean, he also is what, I mean, Charlie Sheen is doing some great CGI acting where it's like, Charlie, this thing's going to come out of the ground and it's going to be big. You got to give us a big reaction.
He's like...
Yeah, I mean, everything is like, Charlie, bigger. It's got to be this. The bathtub falls through the floor. Charlie, give it to us big.
Can I say something though? I thought he did a fine job.
I fucking love Charlie Sheen.
I really did. I find him to be very watchable, whether you like that or not.
And I
really do.
They did him a disservice by really. He's on a journey alone for so much of the movie. He has almost no one to talk to or bounce stuff off of except for those moments or periods of time where he links up for a few scenes with Kiki the Kid or for a few scenes with Lindsay Krause or for a few scenes with Terry Polo. But otherwise, he's just on his own and holding it together as best he can. But when he goes undercover into the spaceship, the base,
the factory, the alien factory.
When it's guys... Yeah. When it's established that they are aliens, it is 1 hour and 15 minutes into this movie before someone's legs do a Mr. Tumnus.
And the interesting thing about those legs is like... first of all, I thought it was for limited CGI, sci-fi, whatever, for that type of work to be like early days. I actually thought that choice was very evocative. I was like, that's deeply upsetting. Yeah. And that is alien. That's so wrong. But then I did have to wonder about the aliens because they are advanced creatures. It's just harder to walk with your legs backwards.
Well, they don't. You almost never see them walk. They seem to be using it to jump.
Yeah,
when
they do.
When that guy, Mr. Tonus, is his legs and jumps up through the thing, I was like,
they're like crickets.
I screamed.
I wish this had been happening for 20 minutes already, and it doesn't happen for another 20 minutes still.
You know, June, you said it was disturbing to see their legs go backwards. I'll tell you what was disturbing to me. Charlie Sheen's goatee.
Sure.
It's a rough look. It's a rough look for an attractive man. I don't know if that was like, oh, yeah, I'm a scientist. So I got a goatee. You know, I don't know if that was a choice in his life or a choice for the character.
What year did you say this was?
96.
I feel like this is peak goatee.
Yeah, I think so.
This is big goatee time.
So we're all into goatees.
This is when I had a goatee, I believe.
Oh, wow.
96? Yeah, this is when I had a big, only goatee that went like this long.
Whoa.
I was in anthrax.
Love that.
Well, it's so funny because the character that he plays, and I don't know if this is Charlie Sheen, I don't know where the line is between Charlie Sheen and the character, but
the character of Zane.
I hated that his name was Zane.
It was horrible.
Zane
and it said so
Zeminski.
Much.
Zane Zeminski.
But the thing about Zane is it's not like Indiana Jones. A lot of these other characters, scientists turn sort of action hero characters, they do seem like, they're normal, nice guys who have this thing unfolding in front of them and are trying to get people to understand their point of view. With him, it was like, you you do have the truth, and I understand that you're trying to get people to believe you because what you know is true, but you're still crazy. Like Zane, are still insane.
I'm not on his side. That's for sure.
You can't. It's hard
the
to
way
be.
that you don't get on his side right away is when he's working, his wife calls him and says, "Oh, I'm out at a bar." And he's like, "What? Where are you?" "You better get home."
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, all right, wait a second.
I thought that was crazy, too. That's not his wife, though. Terry Polo's not his wife,
Oh, his girlfriend, right?
No, I'm only saying that because I was like, oh, wait, they are not married, are they?
They're not. That's the thing that I loved about this movie, though, is the choices it makes, the love triangle that's established is so...
Between Charlie, Terry Polo, and Kiki?
The fact that they're not married, that she's also got her own career journey in San Diego, that we think she's an alien at one point.
For a lot of the movie, I
wanted her to be an alien.
She works at a brokerage? He works for, like, I don't know.
SETI.
Oh, he works for SETI, sorry. Then he's just walking. Then he gets fired. Toby Ziegler is his partner in crime from The West Wing, Richard Schiff, like one of the true greats.
One of the true greats, and I was bummed he was killed so
Heartbroken.
early.
I have so many of my notes in the beginning are like, fuck yes, Toby Ziegler's here. Give me more Zieg. And guess what? No, he's done. The landscapers get him. They pruned him right up.
I do want to like figure out, because these guys are... Like, there are versions of this movie where it's like Charlie Sheen's a real estate agent, and on the side, he has an infatuation with aliens. Like, in the way that, like, Richard Dreyfuss' character in, Close Encounters, his job isn't aliens. It's like, right? So he is doing his job. He is working at his job. And Terry Polo's like, oh, you're just obsessed with these aliens. It's like, it's his job.
Well, not
He's
only
doing
that,
his job. She's like, another night working.
It's
at his job.
It's also success at his job.
Yeah,
that's the thing. He's
job,
bringing his bosses exactly what he's supposed to be bringing.
But that's what I couldn't quite understand, though. Is his job to find alien frequencies?
Yes,
I think they're listening. Him and Toby Ziegler are listening at some frequencies, and then they hear something. They bring the tape to activist Ron Silva.
You gotta love Ron
Doing
Silva.
some wonderful work in this movie.
Incredible in this movie.
I love him.
As is the Ron Silver character, where he's also himself but with a mustache.
I
loved that. I loved when we had Ron Silver play multiple. I was like, whoa!
It was so good.
I
would just say that SETI stands for the Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence. That's his job.
Yeah, they are listening. Yes.
Right. That's his job.
Which made sense, but nowhere in the movie's setup. I understand what's happened, but like June was saying, I'm not rooting for Charlie Sheen. Charlie Sheen doesn't seem to know what exactly he's pursuing. There should be
the biggest find of all time.
That's what I'm saying. He should be a whistleblower. He should be like he should have the information.
He is. Remember when he puts on that
all
suit?
over the world.
But he puts on that. Well, once they didn't listen to him, when he I guess goes undercover as a janitor and then goes into that meeting to be like, "Where's my boss?" I'm like, wait. Why are we doing this?
He wasn't in a janitor's.
No, that's what he wears, man.
That's his. He's a telephone
He's a satellite
repair person or a
satellite
telephone
guy.
salesperson.
Wait. I thought that was the one scene when he's like going around town getting the satellites all hooked up. But I thought like that's his job, but I didn't know he would wear that to the meeting.
He's wearing that. He's wearing full like regalia, belt and everything. And like Indiana Jones has his whip on his hip all the time. For Charlie Sheen, it's a Sony Sports Walkman.
Now,
I have that Walkman.
We all did, but I had so many questions. It was so tough to see him like heading through the jungle, with the Sony with the little earphones up. But my question is this: were we to believe that Sony Walkman was attached to like a satellite signal?
This is what I want to know. This is what I want to know.
Or was he just wearing them to listen back to some of the old sounds?
Or is he listening to music?
That's a question.
Or is he like cruising through the jungle listening to like some tunes?
I think it's definitely not hooked up to a satellite. I think he's listening to Led Zeppelin. He's listening to like Hair of the Dog, or whatever it is.
Hair of the Dog?
Isn't that like that song, right? It's Hair of the Dog is a band, right?
Hair of the Dog, the band.
Like
I love this.
Now you're messing with a son of a bitch. Now you're messing with a son of a bitch. Right? That's one of their songs.
Whoa, I don't know this at all. This is great.
I got to see if
somebody out here was singing along.
Yeah. Let's see.
This is a big hair of the dog crowd? Oh, it's Nazareth?
Oh,
Nazareth. It's Nazareth. Hair of the Dog is the song, perhaps?
Okay, all right. That was close. All right.
Oh, okay. Got it. Thank you.
Now do you get it?
Now I get it. I still don't know the song, but yes.
Now you're messing with a son of a bitch.
I would have loved it if we heard that leaching out of his earphones.
But what is he listening to?
I think that he is listening to that frequency to see if he gets some more clues from it.
From the Walkman?
How?
No, he recorded it.
So he's just listening to an old recording?
But the last time
42 seconds long.
Yeah. And keep in mind this, the last time he was able to get tuned into that frequency, he had to have like a pressure cooker hooked up to a dry ice machine in order to get it to work.
Oh yeah, no. I'm not saying he's getting the frequency. He's not like listening to frequencies. Like he recorded it. It's like he made a mixtape.
Oh, he's listening to the greatest hits?
Yeah, like all I want to say is this. I'm just happy that he is wearing that Walkman, because if he's wearing the Walkman, it means he's wearing pants. And this movie, he's not often wearing pants.
Him being like this,
he is he is naked multiple times in this movie.
It's right in here that when it's pulled out that I was like, what the what?
Here.
Yeah, it's right. I don't want to see this. I don't want to see that.
We are introduced to Terry Polo in this film. I can't tell if it was post shower or post fuck, because they're drenched in a way that makes you go, either way works.
Gosh, that's interesting. I just thought we were being told so many times in this movie how everybody's sweating in every scene, by the way. So, I didn't know if they were just sweaty.
Well, and I think the movie... So, one thing we haven't said, which is the macro theme of this movie, is climate change. This is, without a doubt, they are sweating, and sweat is a part of it because the aliens like it hot. They don't like the cold, and so they're heating up the world, and everything's hot, and the weather, people keep being like, it's hotter than normal, blah, blah, blah. And so I feel like they're constantly just letting us know everybody's hot. They're sweating.
Got it. Okay,
they're focused on his sweat when he's in the underground layer.
Irene Green, what was her name? The other woman, the other scientist, is also... Alana Green is also, like, her little tail is always dripping.
Yeah. She's got that wet tail.
She always has a wet tail. And I love that she wanted to, take Zane back to her room.
Here are the...
Fuck him. I was like,
you know what was two things that were hard for me to believe in this movie?
What's that?
1, Charlie Sheen is some sort of expert scientist. 2, Charlie Sheen turns down sex when offered. Took me right out of the movie.
I loved that scene. I loved that scene outside the door. It was so weird.
Okay,
it was so
and there's
strange.
also the allure of the scorpion maybe biting her at any moment.
She's like
those
trying to find
scorpions were huge. Also, how did all the scorpions get on the blades of the ceiling fan? How did they get, I'm going to say, 7 to 9 large scorpions on the blades of a rotating ceiling fan that are then being chucked around the room? And Lindsay Krause is like, do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do, does everything. She bathes, she washes up, she goes to bed. It's not until she's tucked in the dark that one of them, gets her on the toe.
Oh, and we are watching those toes. Imagine my fascination. I'm in the movie theater like, wow, look at this. We're really getting the exciting action of feet under sheets.
You also get his toes. You also get Charlie Sheen's toes when he inexplicably, why does he think, the only answer I have when he's in the lair and they're now after him is he's like, well, I guess I better step onto that thing that rearranges the molecular chemistry of my body.
I think I missed something here. I I thought that the only thing he had seen was an alien turn into a human on there.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
so what wouldn't he assume that he would turn into an alien?
No, I think that.
Why does he think or be evaporated?
No, I think he's like, oh, got it. That's like a flesh thing. Like, because.
Now, when Charlie Sheen says that, I think something way different.
Yeah.
That's like a flesh thing.
Charlie Sheen's been in Hollywood. He's gone to a lot of parties that have this kind of thing. He steps on it with no hesitation, no like, should I? There's just, he gets on it, and I guess what that thing does is just goop you. Like it goops you.
But here's the thing. Okay, so Ron Silva, he's got a twin in this in the alien lair, right?
Why don't they have more bodies?
Come again?
Like, why don't they have like just more models?
I
Like, you know,
I
they have like the same guy. It's like that same guy with the curly hair.
Yeah, why is that, do we think? My assumption is they only have the makeup of so many, only the people they've replaced in the world.
Oh.
And so they can keep
So they only replaced
recreating.
3 people, and they've gotten pretty far with this.
No,
3.
there's a bunch of people,
Oh,
but
yeah,
like
yeah.
they're
We've
reusing
never
some models.
Seen them? Are those? I guess my question is: are those models from actual human people?
Well, Ron Silva definitely is a human person,
How
right?
do you know?
No,
I
when
don't think so.
I think Ron Silver is never once. I think he
I'm
was.
saying when he first, yeah, that's
I think
what I'm saying.
Gordy.
That's what when he first hired him.
But I think at some point he was swapped out pre-movie start.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Well, okay, so he was swapped out, like an alien came and took over his body, or is his body somewhere in the dump at the
Great
alien
question.
lair, and they just made a mold out of it?
That's what I think. I think he's
Interesting.
dead, but they're using his look or whatever. But then the stranger thing is that when he goes to Mexico and is in that scenario, the Ron Silver in that world has a mustache.
I think that was.
I was like, but hang on. We
To
can't
me-
just start chucking mustaches on guys.
I think why that happened was at a certain point they go, this is confusing for the audience because Ron Silver could have traveled there,
Yes.
but they need to make you go, no, it's not the same one. He's slightly different.
You know what's interesting about this movie, and I'm only now realizing it, is so many of my problems are in a good way. This movie lacks any scenes that cogently give you exposition for what is happening in the movie, what each of the people want or don't want. There's no explainers ever.
To me, it's like it's as if Indiana Jones had never had like a partner, so it all could be in his own head. Like, because occasionally it's like, okay, the beginning of Raiders, these guys come and go, hey, look, the Ark of the Covenant, it's got this power. You go into this room, this thing happens. And Indiana Jones goes out and he meets somebody else and they go, hey, buddy, when you're here, this happens. And this, he never tells anyone his plan. It's all in his head the entire time.
Well, also, Charlie Sheen doesn't appear atypically for a person in this scenario. The person who's been bounced out and now knows the truth and is trying to stay ahead of it or whatever, get in front of it. He seems to not know what's going on. He's too stupid, in fact. I believe. He's not the smart person who's figured something out and is now trying to get in front of it. He knows something and is now just running around trying to gather facts.
Well, and that's what's so interesting about the movie, and the fact that they kill off Richard Schiff so early, because that character was smart and usually provides the information and can check in and say, now we know
Richard
this.
Schiff fucked up immediately. He's like, don't tell him about the backup. Don't tell him about the backup. And they go, anything else? Oh, there's a backup.
But then we lose Richard Schiff and we gain Kiki, the little kid who lives next door.
Or
and I was
do we?
like, what are we doing now?
And then we have Lindsay Krause for a second.
Barely. We have barely Lindsay Krause. But I mean, they keep trying to partner him up, but none of it works because at the end of the day, he simply doesn't know what's going on.
But here's my question for the aliens. If I understand that they're trying to teach us a lesson by speeding up our demise, like, great, it's working. You're doing it. But I'm like, they could have killed him, Zane, multiple times.
Easily.
They
And why
tried.
actually But Paul, I mean, they're tracking, but they're tracking Calvin and all of these other people. The bathtub, if you want to kill someone,
right?
What an elaborate, what a long road to travel.
What the game of mousetrap level nonsense.
Why?
On earth would you think if I filled one tub of the floor above structurally, it would fall through the floor when he's in the tub. In order for this to work,
by the way, everyone is bathing at the same time because when it falls to the next floor, the woman below him is in the tub too. She jumps in the sink.
And also, men are so rarely in tubs.
Yes. And he's in the tub. This scene goes on for so long. I didn't like any of this. It's also, I don't need it.
Charlie, bigger reaction. Tubs are falling through the floor. Hide. It's so loud. You look, a big hole. Big hole. The hole's giant.
I mean,
now what did she do? She jumped out into the sink.
I understood that.
What's funny about that is, yes, obviously she jumped out into the sink, but we don't see that, so it looks like she's just taking a bath in the sink. Which is also
Why
very
is this
funny.
bathtub so small? Well,
this
they knew
is
that
such a convoluted way to try and kill someone when that man could have just walked right in and been like, pum, pum, pum. Like,
yeah, by the way, the aliens in this movie do have guns.
Yes.
They do, but so why are they releasing, like, scorpions on fans and hoping for the best?
Because we all know the Mexican police department do not leave any stone unturned. If there's a murder, they're going to find their suspect.
By the way, the Mexican police department, the way they treated that Lindsay Krause's dead body was so unacceptable.
Oh, yeah. They just roll her up in a truck and pull her out of the back like she's a couple of bags of groceries.
So horrible.
She's like a 12-pack of Gatorade. Come on, Lindsay Krause.
I was so confused. Also, they establish, when he is a satellite repairman or whatever he's doing, he's selling DirecTV door to door. When he's going there, at one point, in the montage, he speaks very fluent Spanish. And then when he goes to Mexico, he's like, have you ever seen any big satellites? Big A satellites. Big. Grande. I was like, dude, you spoke fluently 15 minutes ago. And you're like, you can't say big. Big.
But that's what I mean. He's too dumb. He's too dumb to follow as the leader. He does not seem to have any awareness of what's going on.
The dumbest move that he does, and it's my favorite move in the entire movie, and I don't have this clip, so we can't play it. But when he's in the elevator, dressed as the human-skinned version of himself, he's undercover, and then the other alien gets in. The alien's like, and he's like, and he just kind of like grimaces, like, meh, it's a living, And then like,
it's a living. You think he said, it's a living.
That's the look he gives him, though, which is like,
living.
What are you going to do about it,
Like, he does like a, he's giving a lot of like, I'm with
living.
Yeah. It's like he does like this, like, the fact that he tries to do anything there is so funny. And he's like, let me whisper in your ear here, and then he whispers in the ear and then kills him. But that plan was not going to work.
No, also it's the taxi cab driver who picked him up and delivered him to his hotel.
Well, no.
Is it? Or is it a mold?
He's one of the models.
Oh, no, I know. I'm saying those are the same person.
They're the same mold.
Same person.
I think he's the same model. I don't think he's
okay. You're saying the first time around it's a human and the second time around
it's
an alien.
We're saying they're both aliens.
We're
saying they're both aliens.
We're just saying like they were like it was another
molds.
guy got molded. He's like, oh, that's our taxi driver guy. Like he does that. But maybe to your point, he is in the same wardrobe, and it does seem like they have to get clothes on at one point. They come out naked at that machine, right? Because Charlie Sheen's in the same
Charlie
outfit.
Sheen has to take his clothes off
right.
in order to be transformed.
There.
Once again, getting nude in the movie.
Charlie Sheen has no problem going belly up naked.
He's like, he can't wait to get that dick out.
I'll take my pants off, too. I don't care.
I just feel like, why would I be wearing clothes when I go into this thing? It won't matter. It's going to change you underneath your clothes.
It really made me laugh that when before he goes into the mold and turns into that, puts that skin suit on, he's running around that place and he does get caught. And then the picture they put up of him, because when he's running around that place, he has his glasses on, his scientist glasses. But when they put the picture up of him, it's just like a still shot that they picked up somewhere.
By the way, you said that he's wearing his scientist glasses. He wears so many fucking weird glasses. Weird shades.
I counted 4 pair of glasses.
Yeah.
Four different pair.
They're all terrible.
Round,
Terrible choices.
Yeah. Oh no, some of them look like he's like an alpinist. Like he's trying to climb a frozen mountain with like guards over so that light can't permeate the
He
sides.
has the same taste in glasses that my 10-year-old has. He's like, I want those.
Well, when he gets fired and he starts building the at-home version of his lab or whatever it was, I was like, oh, is this going to be like pump up the volume, but for this? Like, is he going to be like a pirate radio scientist guy?
Yeah.
And for 10 minutes, he kind of was.
Well, then he befriends that kid, and I'm like, oh, wait, is this a kid's movie? Like where is this going to be the two of them? And that doesn't pay off either.
Well, we disappear because for 45 plus minutes, we just leave small town America where most of the movie takes place, and we go to Mexico for this side adventure. It's more than 45 minutes. I couldn't believe how much of the movie was set not with any of the characters we'd invested in the first 20 minutes.
But then also when he goes to Mexico and he gets involved in stuff, he has the worst instincts of any adventurer imaginable. He's in that alien spaceship, and it's like, clearly an alien device. Like, well, don't fucking touch this. I'm like, oh, maybe it's like a record player. Like, he was so cocky. Like, he knew, but he doesn't seem to know anything more than radio signals, because even his knowledge of aliens isn't like, I've always believed in this. Aliens have been trying to do this. Nope. He just is listening for radio signals.
And he produces the tape with this one example of this spike and everything, but never does he really get more. Not until he really finds the underground world and sees aliens themselves does he get any more information much. You know what I mean? Like, he's only able to replicate the same thing. He hears this sound for a few seconds, and that's that. And
why are they making that sound?
Why indeed? Are they trying to get people to come to? It's a signal?
I mean, they seem like they're pretty much set up on Earth. No problem. They seem like they got a thriving infrastructure.
I think the movie wants us to believe that signal is information that our aliens, the Ron Silvers, the Kikis of the world, need to hear. And
by the way, when you say it, I keep on thinking of Kiki Palmer.
One of my favorite lines, by the way, was when Kiki explained that his grandmother wasn't going to worry about him at night because she takes cough medicine. And I was like, she is...
After 10, she passes out from cough medicine.
She's too real for that, and I understand her. But
she's just...
I deeply understand that woman. But yeah, I don't know what word they're getting over here, because it seems like, honestly, from the aliens' point of view, everything's going according to plan.
Yeah, it's working.
Yeah, like, don't give us any more feedback.
Because ultimately, but you see, I think Ron Silva makes a big mistake, because they go, hey, we got this radio transmission, which is just nothing, right? So he's like, I'm burying it. Okay, well, even if you go, okay, great. He could have gone wide with it. It didn't mean anything. It had no information.
But that, I think, looking back now, and I have this point of view now that I've seen the whole thing.
Oh, wow. It's like Sixth Sense for you.
A little bit. That is classic alien psychology, which is like they don't have the capacity to...
That's classic. That's CAP. That's Cap. That's Cap all the way.
Of course, he should have just been like, underplayed it and not made it big, or been like, yeah, we're going to investigate it. But the aliens don't know how to behave. They're studying us.
Okay. Well, we have a theory that we know somebody who is also studying us.
Yeah. We have a very close person in our life who we actually, this isn't a joke, we do believe is an alien. Who's here in this lifetime to observe us.
Now,
how we behave.
Do you feel as though, because of questions they ask or periods or things that they are around for or curious about, or because every once in a while when you're together they release a metal ball into the air that puzzle boxes itself open and creates a indoor tornado?
I also
the metal ball.
I don't know. It was so interesting because the design of it almost looked like they were hieroglyphic. It almost looked like it was an ancient.
Yes.
Although I guess they
It
do think
almost
they're
looks
it's
ancient
a
aliens.
disappearing ball. I mean, is that what it does?
Yes, it almost looked like something that could have maybe given us information about the aliens, what
Nope.
they're up to.
Don't have time.
None
We
of
only got
it's
2
explained.
hours to get out the
Can I
story.
just, let me ask this. Let me ask this about the aliens because it doesn't seem like they're coming to live here, right? Or that they're really worried about us exploring other universes or trying to fuck with them in any sense. We are so far from having that capacity. It just seems like they've gotten this thing up their ass where they're like they just don't like us.
They want to. Well, no, they want to un-MCDLT us, right? Or they want to like
Wait,
you know.
what? They
Right,
want to
they-
un-MCDLT us?
See, so
I
like,
don't understand any of this.
All right, so the Earth is like a MCDLT. We keep
Which is what?
The hot side hot, the cool side cool, right? And we got the hot and the cool. And they're like, well, let's merge them together, and then they can have more of a planet. They want we're keeping it separate, and they're like, let's push it together.
So we want to keep them separated. And
But
they
why do
are
they
trying
care?
to un-MCDLT us.
But
'Cause we're
why?
McDLT.
But their assumption is that we will eventually burn ourselves
And
to the
they're
ground.
speeding it up.
But why?
I think they want a hotter planet because they thrive in the heat, don't they?
Yeah, they
But
want
they don't
another
live
planet.
here.
They
I
want,
think
but they
are
want to
going
move
to.
here.
I think
Why are they going to move here?
Retirement, June.
beachfront property.
I knew.
I didn't get that.
I
Okay,
knew
so
that
they want to
Ron
be here
Silver.
just because it's going to be warm.
Yeah, they want another planet.
What's wrong with theirs?
They
We
are
never find out,
expanding.
do we?
I don't think so.
They have a high birth rate.
That's the thing is, I don't think we ever find out anyone's plan. I don't think we ever get insight into anybody's understanding of the facts of what's going on. Everybody appears to be chasing just whatever's in front of them in that very
It to me
moment.
feels like a story that you would tell that wouldn't be a movie. It's like they'd be like, oh yeah, and then there was chase in the jungle, and then the satellite fell.
yes.
Well, what happened? I don't
What
know.
is it for? What is it? What is
I
that
don't know.
station?
I don't know. They were chasing me. Then they had this
What's
thing.
the station in Mexico that he's inside? What are they doing in there? What's going? We never find out what it's about, do we?
No.
It just seems like a place for them to connect. But
Well, I
Like a
think
club,
in terms
an alien
of the
club?
technology,
Well, there's
for them
8
to be
of
themselves,
them.
I guess.
He finds out there's 8 of them across the world, and they want to make 20. So are they trying to create like 20 space
Well,
stations?
so I
places
think
to
what they're
un-McDLT
doing
us.
there is, they're releasing. I think that machine is releasing greenhouse gas, right?
Okay.
So that's. Thank you so much.
You got it, June. You passed the test.
So that's their
So-
plan.
So that's their plan, and I guess there's some line about we're doing it in third world countries because why? Because
It's
regulations,
it's easier.
nobody's
It's
okay.
looser restrictions and
Regulations,
so
all right.
forth, I think.
Not anymore.
What do you mean?
He's saying they might as well build it here.
Now.
Oh, yeah. No, at the very beginning, they drop out of the Paris Accords.
There was a the reason you said, you're looking back on it and you realize like why they're aliens, and now I'm also realizing something too. Ron Silver made a very big mistake when Charlie Sheen interrupts that presentation. He goes, "This young man is disturbed." Charlie Sheen ain't a young man. No one would ever refer to Charlie Sheen unless you're like hundreds of years old. You're like, oh, that is a young man. Is clearly Charlie Sheen. There's nothing about him. The first thing would be like, well, young, a young guy. That's a young guy right there.
Let me ask you this. Wouldn't it have, I think it would have been very interesting. Charlie Sheen, he's in the base in Mexico, and they're after him, and so he steps into the thing nude, and it transforms his body with a skin suit over his skin, blah, blah, blah. Why not just stay as that for the rest of the movie?
He was leaking.
Oh, I know he was leaking. It does, but like, why have him do it if he only is that
for
character
seconds.
for 4 minutes?
Well, again, it's like the technology that we don't understand. It's like, so what? So it doesn't stick on.
This was
humans?
pointless.
Yeah, like you're right. It's like it would have been.
I think it doesn't stick on non-aliens.
I guess so.
I guess.
But then why go through it? I guess it allows him to escape because they
Got
find
him
his
out of there.
they find his face on the next to the waterfall.
Now the big question for me is, how did he escape?
Mexican rodeo.
No, I got that. How did he escape the indoor? Is that where those yellow glasses came from? Mexican
I'm
rodeo?
assuming.
Okay, great. And I wish there was just a sequel about that trip.
What was
Back-
are you?
By the way,
Mexican
you're in luck.
rodeo.
There is a sequel,
Whoa, what?
Arrival 2. It doesn't star anybody from this movie.
Oh, okay.
It was a direct-to-video sequel where they reveal in the opening scene that Charlie Sheen's character had just died of a heart attack.
What a
They say that Zane was found dead of a heart attack in an Inuit community after his broadcast to the world about the alien invasion. They wrote it off as a hoax. And now Patrick Muldoon, Charlie Sheen's half-brother, is avenging his death.
wow.
And this is the log line. A computer hacker learns of the plot of the backwards-kneed aliens.
What? That's what we're calling them?
The backward needs aliens need to take over the Earth using their shape-shifting talents.
This is ridiculous.
I have to say, the one moment that really got me good was Kiki's reveal.
Yeah.
And I want to shout out the actor who played Kiki, because I was watching it. Our son was in the room for that final sequence,
no.
and I said, "Get ready, she's an alien." Because he walked in when she had picked up the car phone, and he's like, "What do you mean? Isn't that his wife?" I said, "She's an alien." You watch. That woman's an alien. We watch, and he said, "What's she going to look like?" I said, "She's going to look like an alien," and it's about to happen. And boy, were we surprised when Kiki wouldn't press the red button. And I thought that actor's performance was wonderful, because I did think, I don't know, maybe everybody read it way sooner than I did, but I was like, oh, he's just panicking. He is a kid. We're remembering Kiki's just a kid. And then when Kiki turned out to be an alien, wow.
But when Kiki flips his knees backwards and runs off...
runs into the
Wow.
desert sun.
I mean,
wow.
But then again, the movie, this is why you got to watch this movie 2-3 times, because there are these moments when Kiki sees the exterminator and they just look at each other. You're like, ooh, that's a creepy ass moment. Like Kiki's afraid.
And then you look back.
And you're like, oh, they're in cahoots. And Kiki should have been, and then he would have been like.
I mean, how many people do we think
But why couldn't Kiki have done it?
done what?
Anything.
Oh, yes. Agree?
Oh, you
Yeah.
mean because Kiki had multiple opportunities to kill
Kiki
him?
had
So
multiple
much
opportunities. Kiki, when he jumped into that truck, could have been like, "Huh."
Well,
Done.
they are always letting Charlie Sheen get away.
Well, I do think there's a possibility that Kiki was turned.
No.
To the... Wait, what do you mean?
That Kiki was Kiki until until he went to Mexico,
I see.
and then the landscapers got in there. And
Maybe.
No, because the moment that we see that's the craziest, if Kiki, I believe Kiki is an alien when he jumps into the car with them, right?
1,000%.
Then why did he leave a note for Grandma? Grandma, be back. Like, he's really keeping up this story. Like, Kiki could have just disappeared. I mean, is he running back home?
I'm sad for that grandma. Yeah. Does Kiki just go back home and...
I don't know, because the thing is, we don't know what happens to their real bodies. If Gordy is out there somewhere, you know?
Yes. If
In some
there's
sort of a
ship,
pod.
Yes, if there's a ship full of pods, Secret Invasion style.
Yeah.
Terrible show. But I guess, because at the end of the movie, what we uncover is that there's this gigantic plot, and these aliens are going to take over the planet, and blah, blah, blah. And our only hope is if Charlie Sheen can wrestle a mini DV cassette tape out of actor-activist Ron Silver's jacket pocket. Like this, it's so.
Why was he carrying it around? Mail that to the mail.
The stakes are so small for such a big thing that I was like, how, and then all that he does is successfully broadcast that bit of conversation, and that's that.
And never even a shock look of anyone watching that news.
Nope.
Not. We don't know how.
Nobody is revealed to be an alien on TV. No great gotcha. No great nothing. I believe nothing happens.
Then all we know is he died in
of a heart attack,
being with a bunch of Native Americans. He just died in their compound suspiciously, which makes me believe the Native Americans are in it too. All right, so let's go out to the crowd. Let's find out what you all think. All right, great. We already have a hand up here. All right, here we go. All right, what's your name? What's your question?
Nick. So the aliens, when they're in human form, do not sweat, and that's why there's a fan theory, at least on IMDb trivia, that his girlfriend is an alien also, because she never sweats.
Wow.
And they show her never sweating?
They show everyone else sweating.
I thought that in that like post-coital scene that they were both sweaty.
That was wet.
Oh, from the shower?
Yeah.
How do you know?
Yeah. Okay. Hey, what's your question?
So my question is, going back to Kiki, because I do believe also that Kiki was turned, and going back to the note that you were mentioning, if we believe that the girlfriend didn't actually inform these people, the aliens, that they're going to this satellite, is it possible that note that he left on for Grandma was actually a note to the other alien saying we're heading to this satellite area?
Wow. So Grandma's an alien too?
No.
Maybe there's no grandma, just an alien. Maybe it's another alien.
Like, imagine a world in which it was revealed at the end of the movie that everybody but Charlie Sheen was an alien. Wouldn't that have been great? Like, I don't think Charlie Sheen nor us, the audience, ever really learned the plot of the movie.
Yeah. All right. This is our friend who read Jill Rips the other night.
David, right?
All right. So, David, what's your question?
Well, I have an alternative theory for Kiki. I think he was an alien all along because when he hurt his ankle, Charlie Sheen gives him an ice pack, and he says, "I don't like that. That's cold."
Oh, wow. You guys are not messing around. All right. You're hard to get to, but
that's so interesting because if he's an alien the whole time,
then he's just they tasked him to keep an eye on Charlie Sheen, I assume.
But again, why do the aliens?
Why not just kill him?
Make it so hard. Yeah.
Why not just kill him?
Themselves.
They don't need. They're not like he's so close to figuring something we need out. So let's let him keep going. No. They could just kill him at any point.
He seems to be a person that if he wound up dead, no one would ask a single question.
No, he's an unsympathetic human being.
Oh,
yep, easy kill. What's your question? Your name, your question.
My name is Dave. Question is from the very beginning of this movie. The title is The Arrival, but they never arrive. They're already there. So
now this is interesting. Now get ready for this. That's a great question. The title of this movie before it was released was Shockwave. But that also doesn't make any sense. You all agreed to it like, yeah, well, that's better.
Oh.
It doesn't. There's no shockwave. There's no arrival.
Yeah, you guys fucked up.
It should have been like Heat Wave. It could have been, skin suits. Yeah, Kiki's Big Adventure. They're already here.
Okay, well, Kiki does bring some stuff. Kiki's Delivery Service. Yeah.
All right, yes, your name, your question.
My name's Andy. Do we think that the Scorpions might have actually been aliens? Because they were very well organized.
I was going to say the same thing. Maybe that's how they first started on the planet instead of having a human flesh machine.
I would have loved it if they were. I would have loved it if there was specificity to anything. If I understood the aliens' plan, the aliens' look, the aliens' ethos, the aliens' weapons. I wish they had more.
Yeah.
I wish they were letting me in more. I felt on the outside the whole time, just like Charlie Sheen.
The one thing I really didn't like about the aliens was their two skin flaps in the back of their head.
Yeah.
They're like bunny ears that are down that then kind of like heat them up a little. They're like Jar Jar Binks ears or something like that.
One of the things I loved, I just want to mention it before Second Opinion songs, is in the
June,
beginning
don't spoil
scene,
the episode.
Sorry. The beginning scene with Schiff, and the two of them are doing like real intense rolling office chair acting. And I realized as I was watching it, I was like, I love this. I love this. It always works when people are rolling in and rolling out.
They've got great banter. It's got great banter.
Yeah, rolling back to this computer, and then we're rolling here, and then sometimes we're cross-rolling, and it's always wonderful.
I mean, look, you're right. We lost Richard Schiff. I feel like Charlie Sheen might have wanted to just go solo. Like, just be like, you know what? I don't need any help.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised. I was fine with Richard Schiff being left back. I just thought, and then coming back at the end, but losing him altogether so quickly.
What would have been the best reveal?
If he comes back and is an alien.
Fuck yeah.
Well, what would have been great is we see him get taken away. And yes, later in the movie after Mexico, he's back. And he's like, oh, what happened to you? Oh, I went to...
That's
and then you
an
realize it's not Kiki, it's Richard Schiff.
Let me call up David Twohy. Hold on.
Yeah, we can do
get
this.
Him on the line.
Can you go shoot more? Yeah, you can. He said he can.
Nice.
Wonderful.
Right.
Sheen figures out that if he hits the bad guys with liquid nitrogen, they freeze.
Yeah.
And you can like smash them, basically, right?
Yeah, but I think that's also for everyone.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Don't think that's for everyone?
Well, how come it doesn't affect him or Terry Polo?
Because they're not getting blasted with it.
I think you could get... do we have any liquid nitrogen experts?
Yeah.
Can you do it?
What do you know? What do you know about liquid nitrogen?
I worked in research labs, and liquid nitrogen will fuck you up. It'll burn you really bad with just a tiny
Anyone or aliens?
Everyone.
If you're an alien or if you're
we used to do this bit. We used to do this bit at the show. I used to do it. Used to be Chad Carter used to do it because he had access to liquid nitrogen, and he would be like a Mr. Science guy. And he's like, "Oh yeah, you can put anything in here. Put a rose in here. You drop a rose." Break it. Then he'd be like, oh, you can put this in there, break it. And then he's talking and he accidentally puts his hand in there. And then he had a whole rig. And then he would slam his hand and hand would explode. And that's how I always know that liquid nitrogen, it will fuck you up bad. So, yeah, they shoot them. And then they're kind of like icicles. Because like when he does like chop his hand off, I'm like, oh, God.
But I was like, oh, now they're going to know to get the hot aliens with extreme cold. Isn't that smart? Nope. They don't do it.
They're going to McDLT it again. Like, that's all.
You mean they're going to un-McDLT it?
Right, because they want to McDLT. Well, I guess the idea is that we are a McDLT planet.
Is McDonald's sponsoring this episode?
Does
the
McDLT,
blow it.
Honestly, blow it. Don't blow
does
it.
McDLT still exist?
No.
I think it could come back.
So wait, is there no bacon in a McDLT?
All right, well, Jason, hold on one second. I mean,
because... What's the D? What's the D in a McDLT? Donald's? So it's a Donald's lettuce and tomato? I'm so sorry. I know this is a bacon lettuce and tomato, and you're telling me with assuredness that it's a Donald's lettuce and tomato? Hold the Donald's for mine.
Look. This is a Jason Alexander commercial for McDLT.
Okay, with his hair system?
Hey, you say you're getting tired of lettuce and tomato hamburgers in this town that don't quite make it? Yeah! You say that just once you'd like your hamburger hot and your lettuce and tomato cool and crisp all at the same time? Yeah! Well, I say you got it. I'm talking McDonald's new lettuce and tomato hamburger, the McDLT. I'm talking quarter pound of beef on the hot side.
And the hot stays hot.
The new McDLT.
Hot, hot.
Crisp lettuce and tomato on the cool side.
And the cool stays cool.
The new McDLT.
Cool crisp.
The beef stays hot. The cool stays crisp. Put it together, you can't resist. The hottest taste. The coolest
Alien.
Keep it hot, hot. Keep it cool, cool. McDLT. McDLT. Hot, beefy McD. Cool, crisp LT. McDLT.
Wow.
Good time.
Whoa!
For the great taste.
Cool, crisp LT.
It keeps going. What?
Lettuce and tomato hamburger ever.
McDLT.
Wow, that's incredible. And I'm just looking at the description below, and that's written by Stephen Sondheim? Wait, when did this exist? When was the last time a McDLT was offered?
I mean, probably before Jason Alexander was on Seinfeld. We know that.
So all a McDLT is the burger in different compartments?
Yes. A lot of styrofoam. No, here's the thing.
And there's no...
Let me tell you. So I was asked to collaborate with a restaurateur in New York. And he said he makes a really great burger. And he said, what are we going to do? I said, I want to bring back the McDLT. And this is a couple of years ago. And he's like, wait, I don't know what that is. And I said, hot side hot, cold side cold. You're going to deliver this. Then you push it together. And he's like, that's a genius idea. People went fucking nuts for it. Because, of course, you don't want to get the tomato. You want a crisp tomato.
You
Wait
do,
a minute.
but the problem
a crisp
is...
tomato?
Or, I mean, you want the...
You don't want it to be hot. But the problem I have with the McDLT is the bun on the hot side is going to be such a different temperature than the bun on the cold side. And I don't like that.
All right, how about
this? Don't eat this garbage.
No, that's not an option.
the lettuce and tomatoes?
What is
cool.
this, the Doughboys? Are we doing a Doughboys episode right now?
Jason and I
5 forks?
All right. Now, obviously, some people have a different opinion about this movie, and that's why it's always time for us to give thanks to them and give a little bit of a spotlight and something we like to call second opinions.
Yeah. Okay, I'm Stuart. This is my sister.
Hi, I'm Sasha.
Yeah. Second opinions. Second opinion. These are second opinions that were called from Amazon. Second opinions. Second opinion. 5 stars.
Oh, amazing. Give it up. Great job. Thank you so much. You can head back to your seats.
Incredible duo. Give it up.
Great job. The average review of this movie is 4.5 out of 5 stars. Out of 400 total reviews, 72% are 5-star. Fiolage, back in 2011, writes, there is a sequel called Arrival 2 for this film, and while it is good, the first film, The Arrival, is outstanding. And Sheen plays his role incredibly well, despite his recent difficulties. He is a stellar actor. And this film is a wonderful example of his talent and his ability to make a real, somewhat hard-to-believe scenario. I watched it several times, and the entire cast, such as the little alien boy, are very convincing. Another point. The Arrival came up with global warming just a few years before Al Gore brought it to the concern. So if Al Gore hasn't seen this movie, he should. Wow. Gillyman writes, now we all know that these newscasters with the funny-looking legs are indeed aliens.
Wait.
The legs tell it all. 5 stars.
What legs? What newscasters?
You know,
what legs?
These newscasters with the funny-looking legs.
What, like Mary Hart?
This is written in 2003. The Arrival is simply the best. After being a sci-fi fan for many decades, by the way, this is all in caps, so it'd be like this. After being a sci-fi fan for many decades and seeing many sci-fi films, this one, The Arrival, the first one with Charlie Sheen, not the tag-along, Arrival 2, which is okay. The Arrival is far one of the best I've ever viewed. The studio's recent attempts like Mission to Mars and The Red Planet are bad attempts. If you viewed these, they should at least make them understandable and viewable with a decent plot, although Pitch Black is pretty good. If you are a sci-fi fan and don't have the original 1996 version of The Arrival, you don't know what you're missing. Ad Astra. 5 stars. Don't know what Ad Astra meant at the end. There it goes. And those are the 5-star opinions of The Arrival.
I mean, I disagree. I mean, to say that this is like the best science fiction movie ever is nuts.
Yeah, I would say that. One little piece of science, the FM frequency radio waves would not be used for interstellar communication because radio waves bounce off the ionosphere back to Earth. None of them make it out to space. But maybe he was hearing interplanetary communication.
Yeah, maybe they're talking to each other.
And they also say the black hole generator sucks up everything in Zane's attic, and it leaves the rest of the house intact with only a damaged electrical socket.
It basically cleans up.
Yes. Says, but when the same device is used in the satellite array, it destroys the entire building. So maybe it's just a setting. They blame the...
Hey, where's the satellite array? What did you set the ball to?
They put it to max power.
Sometimes the ball looked like small, and sometimes the ball looked like a basketball.
Very
like
large.
it also had... It was like inconsistent size-wise.
I did find it so satisfying to see his back house all cleaned up by the ball.
I wanted it back.
Yeah.
I wish I could sell that ball.
Imagine if we all had balls instead of Roombas running around, you know?
Great.
I do like when taglines are long, and this is the tagline for this movie. For centuries, we've been watching the skies when we should have been watching our backs.
Uh-oh. Love it.
That's it. Sorry. Not as long as I thought, but it's not like The Arrival. They're here and they're mad. That's like it's pretty good.
It's ultimately I enjoyed watching it. It's not a ton of fun.
No.
I wanted to be let in more on everybody's experience. I felt like the movie was really keeping Charlie Sheen in the dark, but also keeping the audience in the dark, so much so that it wasn't as fun to have there were so few discoveries and pieces of knowledge given that I felt like, why am I trapped on the outside looking in?
Well, when that older man in Mexico, when his bones started cracking and then he jumped up onto the roof and then he also sort of looked down like,
yeah.
I was like, this guy's...
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Give me more of
this. It was
this.
so funny. And I was like, oh, wow, we're in for a ride.
And also, that scene comes at the very end of that guy trying to kill Charlie Sheen in the bathtub, where Charlie Sheen is now just wearing pants and no shirt and keeps running in and out of a Mexican funeral. What's the people carrying flowers?
Day of the Dead.
It's the Day of the Dead.
Day of the Dead is what it is. Day of the Dead. Sorry. He's running around like a chaos agent. And then I'm like, okay,
he's running around like what's this guy from the MMA fighter in the beginning of Roadhouse when he's
Conor McGregor?
Yeah, when he walks around butt naked in the middle of the street. I'm like, best entrance of all time in any movie. But yeah, like he's very casually running around. And that guy should have just jumped on a building immediately.
And why wasn't either that guy or any of the other aliens just constantly trying to kill Charlie Sheen from then on? Like, we know that's their intention now, so keep at it, guys.
Yeah.
Be pretty easy to do.
The best we can do is when he gets back, the landscapers come after him with like a scythe. I was like, what we're going to reap Charlie Sheen? Well, what's going on? Give me alien guns. Give me anything. Let them ball him.
He's not particularly good at hiding, nor is he really trying to hide.
And they are bad at finding, nor are they trying to find. Everybody's bad at their job in this.
Yes.
Except for Ron Silver.
Yes.
Who seems to be very good at his job.
Yes.
I mean, I like Ron. I like this movie if it was 30 minutes.
30 minutes long or 30 minutes shorter?
30 minutes long.
Yeah.
I don't think. I think that there was a lot that was we didn't need to be established. There's not much going on here. It does need a sequel. I like what Tim said, that it should have been his arrival on the alien ship.
Has anyone seen the sequel? Okay, good.
Never heard a silence like that.
As
They're
I
fans,
was asking, I was like, I hope one of these idiots doesn't answer. God, I saw the next 15 minutes where I'm trapped in a conversation with, no offense, one of you fucking absolute lunatics.
Thank you so much for coming, Largo. Good night.
Eat shit.
That's a wrap on The Arrival. Thank you to the entire staff at Largo and our recording engineer, Rich Garcia. Make sure you keep on checking the How Did This Get Made website to see more live dates. Now, our t-shirt design, one of my favorites from this entire tour, is associated with the show. It says, "Stop Climate Change," with a drawing of a MCDLT styrofoam container on it. You can snag that shirt and a ton of other HDTGM merch at howdidthisgetmade.dashery.com. Now, if you have any questions, concerns, things that we might have missed, you can give me a call at 619-PAUL-ASK or write a comment on our Discord at discord.gg/HDTGM. I'll respond to your message on next week's Last Looks episode. Plus, Jason will join me to chat about TV and movies, everything that we're watching and into. Now, if you don't know, my book, Joyful Recollections of Trauma, has come out in paperback with 20 new pages. I also built a brand new part of my website with tons of videos and pictures and scripts. You can get in a deep dive into the UCB or just see a picture of me kissing my mom. Anyway, check that out and make sure you check out Jason, myself, and more at Dinosaur. That's right, Dinosaur is at Largo in Los Angeles on 5/31. And every week, Jason is on Taskmaster. This season is so good, and he is fantastic on it. Remember, if you listen to us on Apple or Spotify, please make sure you are subscribed to our feed and have automatic downloads turned on in the show settings. It helps us, and we appreciate it a lot. And last but not least, I got to thank our entire team to who the show could not be done without. I'm talking about our producers, Scott Sani, Molly Reynolds, and our movie-picking producer, Avril Halley, our engineer, Casey Holford, and Jess Cisneros, who makes all of our social media videos. All right, that's all I got. We'll see you next week on Last Looks. Bye for now.